Hey guys, my name is Miska and welcome to Overwatch Central. So it's sort of time to put our tinfoil hats back on. We've recently returned from a convention and traveling, and not too much concrete stuff has happened whilst we've been gone, but there was a comic released and some bits datamined from the PTR, and we want to go through it here and just compile everything, as there's quite a lot of things to go over, and I figured some of you guys might want it all summarized nicely. I'm gonna try to keep this one short and sweet, but no promises really. So first off, the comic. We've seen a lot of detailed character art in this and just several highlights of what could be potential skins, and this has historically suggested that these are actually skins we'll see in game. We had Junkenstein, Year of the Rooster, and Uprising comics all do this, so it seems likely that we're not just looking at a very good looking comic, but actually potential skins as well. Most of the other comics haven't had as many detailed specific skins for the heroes, with a lot of heroes just wearing their default skin in the comic, but these are three good examples of comics that have led to events. Continuing with that thought though, this would fit in with the Carnival of Venice, as many have pointed out on Reddit and just all over the internet. However, the Carnival of Venice tends to be around late January and early February, so that makes no sense really in terms of date and where we're at currently in the year. However, with there being no other hints of the carnival being on in the comic, there are no environmental shots of Venice showing that the carnival is definitely happening, and as well the comic itself just being called Masquerade, and on top of that having it be very appropriate for Talon affiliates to hide their identity in this scenario. This comic may actually just feature a big masquerade type of party, rather than having this be part of the actual carnival. Venetian masks aren't necessarily just worn during the carnival, but also just doing masquerade parties of different kinds, so there definitely is a possibility there. But if we do say that this comic could be the start of leading up to the next event, we run into yet another issue. This has to do with Datamined music and the Summer Games timing. So to start with the first one, just recently we had some very serious, competitive arena style type of music released. Here are a couple snippets. And already, this doesn't quite seem to fit the theme. About 2 months ago as well, we had a bunch of gladiator and arena game mode type of sound effects datamined from the PTR. You can have a listen to some of these real quick.
Now entering the arena. Challenger. Gladiator.
What magnificent treasure is this? Ooh, I wonder what I got. I could use some new gear.
And all these files have led people to believe that there would be a Doomfist type of arena brawl, which makes a lot of sense from a PR perspective, as Doomfist is just a very marketable hero with all the hype around him, and Blizzard seems to be pushing Doomfist a lot right now. This gets us onto the next discussion point though, which is timing. We've been expecting Summer Games for a while now. Even Blizzard themselves have told us that last year's events will repeat to some degree, and with Summer Games 2017 logo leaking as well, it feels pretty safe to assume that Summer Games is coming sooner or later. However, would Blizzard actually push Summer Games back even further, just to squeeze in another event or patch related to this previous comic and the Doomfist Gladiator Arena mode in between? It's hard to say really, and this is where the trail of potential in-game events and skins stop. So to not leave you guys with just a cloud of speculation and all this thrown at you, I'll quickly give you a verdict and present you with the options that we see available. So to simplify it, option A. It's not necessarily the most likely option, but definitely one that I've seen many people lean towards, and it is that the comic unfortunately doesn't turn out to be anything more than a comic. The Summer Games event has Lucy Ball as a side game mode, but the main brawl being the Doomfist Gladiator Arena mode, and then that's that. This makes sense to some degree, but I at least am kind of surprised that they're turning what used to be an Olympic Games type of event into a more serious arena style event with a gladiator brawl. Option B for us includes 2 events, one smaller one with a Doomfist brawl and some cosmetics for Talon heroes from the comic, and then later on a very late Summer Games event. And whilst this could happen based on datamined assets and the comic and so on, it does also not seem very likely that Blizzard would all of a sudden create an in-game event that isn't a full-blown event with more cosmetics and the like. After all, they also want to sell a lot of loot boxes around this time. On top of this, the gap between this event and the Summer Games 2017 would have to be very small small to fit both events into the potential time frame of just summer, right? Summer games. So this option really isn't as likely, but it's not impossible. Option C, which is the one that I feel is the most likely, is that these gladiator and arena type of sound files are actually completely irrelevant to summer games as a whole, and we're just getting the type of summer games that we are all expecting just a few weeks ago before all of this stuff leaked. Lucy Ball is the main event, but potentially a new map to play it on, a bunch of cosmetics for a lot of the heroes, but no other brawl involved. This option also seems fairly likely, as we've had Datamined audio files from months ago that have never turned out to be used in game. We even have sound files from over a year ago that weren't used up until the anniversary event for the Black Forest map, so it definitely could be that all these sound files and all this music doesn't turn out to be anything really. As much of a vanilla option this is, and how much of a shame it would be to not have that Doomfist arena mode happen, this does seem very possible. So this is where I want you to decide option A, B or C. I've summarized them on screen for you as well real quick. What do you think is more likely? Drop it down in the comments below. I wanted to make this video to just summarize all the info we currently have, to not have several videos floating around with this stuff. And then for all of you that aren't really quite caught up with all of this, hopefully you are now. Alright, that is it for this time though. Thank you very much for watching. As per usual, subscribe for more Overwatch content and leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. You can check out our sponsor HyperX as per usual in the description below if you're interested in mice, keyboards or other PC peripherals. That is all for now though. Thanks again for watching. Take care, and until next time, see you.